lost planet. The universe seemed still, an eternal void dotted by distant stars. Yet something was off. Earth's disappearance wasn't accompanied by fanfare or natural disasters. It simply vanished. No warning, no sign, nothing. All that was left was a stunned space research team stationed at the nearby lunar outpost, grappling with the incomprehensible reality that had just unfolded. Earth, their home, was gone. Captain Lillian Varrow stood in front of the holographic display, her heart pounding in her chest as she stared at the empty space where Earth had once been. It was there just hours ago, a familiar blue marble in the distance. Now, the serene orb that had anchored them was gone. The moon, ever present, remained. Its ghostly reflection shimmered across the base, offering no comfort. Lillian's thoughts swirled uncontrollably. Where were her family, her friends? What had happened? "Captain, we need to act fast." Lieutenant Soren's voice cracked through the silence. His face was pale, his wide eyes reflecting the disbelief etched on everyone's faces. "There's no communication from Earth, no signals, nothing." Lillian clenched her fists. "We're going after it," she said, her voice heavy with determination. "We don't leave Earth behind." Without further delay, the crew boarded the horizon and launched into the vast unknown, engines roaring as they broke free of the moon's gravity. Days blurred into weeks as they navigated the deepest recesses of the galaxy, following faint gravitational disturbances that might lead them to answers. But the farther they went, the more hostile the universe became. Alien. Landscapes and distorted stars greeted them, unsettling the crew at every turn. The Discovery. It was during one of those endless stretches that Soren saw it first, a ripple in space-time, small but unmistakable. The ship's sensors picked up the anomaly, and the readings only grew stronger the closer they got. This was no ordinary cosmic disturbance. Something about it felt wrong. The crew gathered on the observation deck as the anomaly came into view. It wasn't a black hole, though it shared many characteristics. A swirling vortex hung in the void, a dark mass devouring light and space itself. But this felt different. It felt alive, pulsating with a strange, malevolent energy that made the hairs on the back of Lillian's neck stand on end. "This has to be it," she whispered, almost to herself. Was this where Earth had gone? "What the hell are we looking at, Captain?" Soren's voice trembled slightly, his usual calm giving way to the unease gnawing at him. Lillian stared into the abyss. "The gateway," she said, as if speaking the word made it more real. She didn't hesitate. "Prepare to enter," she ordered. The ship shuddered as they moved closer to the vortex, the laws of physics bending and warping around them. Space itself stretched, stars becoming streaks of light, reality twisting into impossible forms. The crew held on, white-knuckled as they were pulled into the vortex. For what felt like hours, the ship was tossed and turned in the chaos of the dimensional gateway. And then, as quickly as it began, everything stopped. The turbulence ceased. The stars realigned. Before them hung Earth, suspended in the middle of an alien sky. But it wasn't the Earth they knew. Something was wrong. The colors were off, hues of green and blue that shouldn't exist. The atmosphere rippled with strange energy, a sickly glow enveloping the planet. And then they saw them. Shadows. Dark, shapeless forms floated across the alien landscape, creeping along the edges of Earth like living smoke. They slithered and twisted in the sky, formless but somehow sentient, watching, waiting. "Captain." Soren's voice barely broke the silence. "What are those things?" Lillian's throat tightened. "We need to get Earth back." The plan. There was no time for hesitation. The crew worked feverishly to devise a plan. They would anchor the planet to their ship using a tether of energy, pulling it back through the vortex. But, as they began, strange occurrences unsettled them further. Crew members reported seeing visions, loved ones standing on the alien Earth. Calling out to them, Lillian, too, saw her sister, standing there in the eerie glow, waving, her form flickering like a glitch in a broken video feed. "It's not real," Lillian whispered to herself, squeezing her eyes shut. "It's not real." But the shadows were real. They were moving closer. The tether snapped into place and the engines roared to life. The ship groaned under the strain as it began pulling Earth toward the vortex. But the dimension itself fought back. The air crackled with tension as the shadows descended. Faster now, more deliberate. One by one, crew members fell, their screams echoing through the corridors. Lillian watched in horror as the shadows enveloped them, leaving nothing in their wake. It was down to her now. The last one. The fight for Earth. The ship's engines strained against the weight of the planet. The tether holding for now. But she knew it wouldn't last. Lillian gripped the controls, sweat pouring down her face as she fought to keep the ship stable. The shadows were closing in. In a desperate act of defiance, Lillian initiated the self-destruct sequence. If she couldn't save Earth, she could at least destroy the vortex. Maybe, just maybe, it would trap the shadows too. The countdown began. Lillian looked one last time at the image of Earth flickering on her screen. It was so close, but it was lost. She reached out, her hand shaking, and whispered, "I'm sorry." The explosion ripped through the dimension, collapsing the vortex in on itself. In that brief moment of destruction, the shadows froze, and for a heartbeat, everything was still. Then, in a blinding flash, it was all gone. Earth vanished. The ship was no more, and in the endless, silent expanse of the alien sky, only the shadows remained.